that how can I chair an occasion where the VP, the professors, and all the elements, men of name and caliber gathered at this book discussion. But then I was encouraged that after all, the vice president was my contemporary in high school, so I can take refuge under his canopy. So it is my honor and privilege to be standing in here today representing Ambassador Professor Ibrahim Akindeji-Oladeji, who I understand is unavoidably absent. The book to be discussed today says Religion and the Building of Nigeria. And I can see an array of qualified people to discuss this book. I always tell my wife that I'm a church goer, but the church insists that I'm a good and prominent member of the church. And they try to give me titles in the church, but each time I tell them, let me go and confirm, because the Bible says, if there is a prophecy uttered to us, you should go and confirm. So I'm still in the process of confirming whether I'm just a church worshipper or a staunch and prominent member of the church. Be that as it may, religion in human society has been an age-long issue of discourse. But the fact that we discuss it shows that we are aware of the potentialities of religion, be it Christianity, Islam, or Judaism, the three monotheistic religions. While I was serving in Israel as a deputy head of mission, I discovered that we have a lot of misunderstanding about the state of Israel in Nigeria. Anytime there is a problem, you find that between the Palestinians and the Israelis, you find that most people feel that it's a problem between Muslims and Christians. But I told them, in Israel, Christians are maybe 1%. They are mostly Jews. And so it's not a question of religion, it's a question of identity. I also discovered that of the three religions, Judaism is the only one that does not evangelize. They like to be very few because, according to their belief, they are God's chosen. Islam goes out to proselytize. Christianity also does the same. But Judaism on its own questions your belief or your reason why you want to convert to become a Jew. So you can imagine where you are convinced that you are a Jew and somebody says no. You have to go through certain rites for us to prove what you are saying you are. In Nigeria, luckily, majority are either Christian or Muslim. And in most parts of Nigeria, we have learned to live harmoniously. While growing up in Lagos in the 60s, I hardly knew the difference between Christianity and Islam because in school we all had ordinary Nigerian names. So it was not fashionable to ask which religion are you following or you believe in. But recent times, with globalization, the issue of your faith has become a critical component of public discourse. So it means you now have to be careful what you say or what you do in any public setting, because you never know. Your neighbor may be behind a Debola, yet he is maybe an Ogun worshipper. And you say something bad about Ogun, and he's up in arms. Or like Professor Shoyinka, who is an Ogun worshipper. When the plane he was traveling in was having some turbulence, he said, Oguke Ipomo again. Be still, and then the plane stabilized. So that shows you that he believes in what he practices. I always say that each time the religion is being discussed, we need to have open minds, because at the end of the day, even those who claim to be agnostics still have a belief. I remember the late Taisho Laring used to say, I believe in man, And because man is the one that makes the difference in everything we do. That if you have a faith and it's not implementable or achievable, then you have nothing. So the man is the critical component in any human endeavor. Today, Professor Femi Von has decided to present to us a book where he feels that the issue of religion in Nigeria has a critical role to play in the development of the nation. Many nations of the world have had the use of religion becoming so fratricidal that the nation itself no longer feels the same. All of us are conscious of the experience of Lebanon. They fought and fought and fought and fought until they became battle fatigued. And then nobody tried to make peace with them again because they themselves decided to shield their swords and discuss. But, however, they agreed that for each religion not to become a prime feature, there shall be no population census forever. So in Lebanon, we deal with estimates. And they also agreed that for continuity of stability, a Christian must always be a president, while the Shiite will be the prime minister. And I think the other branch, a Sunni, is the Speaker of Parliament, and then the minority strain of religion, they call them Druze, they will also occupy the post of Deputy Speaker. With this arrangement, you find that when there's a vacuum in any succession, only those that belong to that faith vie for that office. Whether it's a good system, I don't know, but the fact is that in Lebanon today, the issue is not about who should occupy what space, but maybe who should be more prominent. Because they have agreed that religion, if not properly handled, can be a destructive factor. Again, you all recall when Nigeria decided to join the OIC in the late 80s, and the problem that erupted thereafter. But the government of the day decided to create an inter-religious faith dialogue, whereby equal number of Christians and equal number of Muslims were brought together to discuss the efficacy of our membership of OIC. But what the government could not explain to us at that time was, were we joining the OIC as a fresh member, or were we upgrading our status to that of a full member from that of observer status? I don't think most Nigerians got the difference at that time. But the good that came out of that panel was that we were able to discuss, and the discussion continues. And as long as we are dialoguing, it means the option of a fight can be kept for another day. So essentially, when it comes to religion, what really matters is your attitude towards your neighbor. If your neighbor likes to pray loudly early in the morning, you should learn to wear air blockers so that you can have your sleep. If, however, your neighbor decides to come and pitch his temple or church in front of your house, you also have the temporal government saying, no, this cannot be done, this is against city code. So what I'm trying to say here is that religion at this stage of nation building should occupy a place where it should not provoke a conflagration. It should be an idea of faith, practiced independently and freely. And this is epitomized by what has happened in West Africa, where the ECOWAS has held 2 conferences on interreligious dialogue. Of recent in Abuja, and 5 years ago also in Abuja. If religion is not properly handled, it could be like a tinderbox that is just waiting to inflame. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not the book reviewer, neither am I one of these discussants, but I've done what I've said so far as to whet your appetite, so that when the discussants start to discuss, we can all be on the edge of our seats to learn new things about how and where religion